Nestled amidst the desolate embrace of Icecrown lies a realm shrouded in perpetual darkness and bone-chilling cold, where the once pristine glaciers have succumbed to a sinister corruption, rendering the ice itself a foreboding shade of black. Sauronite structures weave through the landscape, forming ominous walls, gates, and towering walkways that link the strongholds of the Scourge. Icecrown is an anchor that holds Azeroth to the Shadowlands, as is mentioned by Blonsomdi in the quest Jailer of the Damned. Section 1. History. Icecrown's sinister notoriety was brought about by Kil'jaeden, who cast the Lich King Ner'zhul back into the mortal realm. The prison's collision with the glacier brought forth the ominous Frozen Throne, its impact seen as far as the Grizzly Hills. Within this icy seat of power, Ner'zhul set in motion the chilling birth of the Scourge, orchestrating the corruption of the world to serve the impending Burning Legion onslaught. But the thing the Legion didn't know is that Ner'zhul was planning his revenge. From the Frozen Throne, the Lich King was trapped within, fueled by his determination to exact revenge on those who had wronged him over the years of being tortured and broken down. He grew in power under the watchful eyes of the Dreadlords, without them realizing his power was growing. Thanks to his psychic powers, Ner'zhul mastered necromancy and developed the plague that would ultimately lead Arthas to become the new Lich King, and conquer much of Northrend from his throne. Along with that, Ner'zhul was able to have the Scourge and Dreadlords build the Citadel we know today. Together, they planned to combat the Legion using the undead Scourge and purge Azeroth of the living, as they believed it was the only way to defeat the Burning Legion. In the aftermath of the Third War, the Scarlet Crusade, in a daring counter-offensive, approached Icecrown Citadel, yet their valiant efforts were met with ferocious resistance from the relentless Scourge. The casualties among the Scarlet Crusade's high-ranking officers, including Grand Admiral Baron Westwind and Captain General Orman of Stromgarde, stand as haunting testaments to the icy fortress's formidable defenses. Section 2. Wrath of the Lich King. When the Alliance and Horde get involved with the battle against the Lich King, Icecrown had been scarred by the tremendous force unleashed when Arthas and the Lich King became one single being. The Scourge, with meticulous intent, fortified the desolate landscape, erecting colossal walls and formidable ramparts that now snake their way through the region. An imposing sentinel, Angrathar the Wrathgate, stands as a formidable barrier, warding off entry from the neighboring Dragonblight. Dominating the horizon, the reborn Icecrown Citadel casts its ominous shadow, a testament to the Scourge's relentless determination. The glacier itself, a heart of darkness, is shielded by three imposing gates: Mordrathar, Aldrathar, and Corprathar, each a grim guardian against the intrusion of the uninitiated. Section 3. Aftermath. After Arthas met his demise, the haunting expanse of Icecrown was occupied with both Horde and Alliance forces navigating its icy corridors for weeks. A peculiar calm settled over the once tumultuous region, a respite earned by the firm grip of Bolvar Fordragon, who, wielding the Helm of Domination, held sway over the dormant Scourge forces, casting a tranquil hush over the frigid domain for years. Section 4. Shadowlands. In a seismic turn of events, Sylvanas Windrunner shattered the Helm of Domination, tearing the very fabric of the sky over Icecrown. This rupture served as an otherworldly gateway, connecting Azeroth to the mysterious Shadowlands. From the ominous Maw guided by Herald Delora, the relentless Maw Swarm descended upon Icecrown, wresting control of the Scourge and the Cult of the Damned entrenched in the region. They orchestrated the resurrection of fallen Scourge champions, remnants of the brutal war against the Lich King. Faced with this existential threat, the Argent Crusade, along with the unlikeliest of alliances between Horde and Alliance, rallied once more. Their collective might was unleashed to defend the sacred Argent Colosseum, where a climactic battle unfolded against the resurrected champions strewn across the icy expanse of Icecrown. With the menace quelled, a united Horde and Alliance turned their gaze to the Frozen Throne. Embarking on a perilous journey into the heart of the Maw, the fate of Azeroth hung in the balance as they ventured into the unknown depths, determined to confront the mysteries that lurked beyond the Frozen Throne's icy facade. Now, I also wanted to go over some locations that I find interesting within Icecrown. The first location is Icecrown Citadel. The imposing Icecrown Citadel, a monolith of the Northrend landscape, houses the world's largest undead army. Within its chilling walls reside the Lich King, a being with near divine power over his inexhaustible, seemingly limitless minions, and the determination to bring Azeroth to ruin. A campaign against this formidable fortress is one of the most perilous ventures in Azeroth's history, and the most crucial. The renowned champions, High Lord Tyrion Fordring of the Argent Crusade and High Lord Darion Mograine, have united to spearhead the assault on Icecrown's fortified barriers. Both the Horde and Alliance have paid a heavy price in lives, entire battalions in fact. Failure is not an option. The Lich King's rule must be terminated. In the climactic attack on the Citadel, it was the Argent Crusade who breached its barriers. They made great sacrifices, without hesitation, to witness the fall of the Lich King. Now I'm also going to be working on a specific video about Icecrown Citadel, because there really wasn't much on the lore of the Citadel, minus that it was built by the Dreadlords and the Scourge, and that the Lich King resides in there. So I'm going to work on a special video just for Icecrown, but it'll be a hot minute before it comes out. It's going to be a little different than the other stuff, but hopefully you'll enjoy it when I eventually get it out there. We now travel northeast to Sindragosa's Fall. In the War of the Ancients, the Blue Dragon Flight suffered a catastrophic loss. Many dragons plummeted to the earth, their bodies becoming entombed in what would later be known as the Icecrown Glacier. Among the fallen was Sindragosa, the beloved consort of Malygos, who perished in her desperate attempt to reach the Dragonblight, the sacred final resting place of dragons. Centuries later, Arthas Menethil, the Lich King, stirred from his prolonged slumber and ventured to the site of Sindragosa's fall. There, he resurrected Sindragosa from her icy grave, transforming her into a formidable skeletal frostworm and commanding her to lead the Frost Brood into battle. In a cruel twist of fate, the Lich King reanimated the spirits of Sindragosa's lost offspring in front of her skeletal form, a final insult to the once mighty dragon. As the war against the Lich King raged on, the area became infested with acolytes and members of the Cult of the Damned, who were busy raising more frostworms from the ice. The Frostbrood became the focus of quests here, with adventurers dispatched by Thessarian or Koltira Deathweaver to eradicate the cultist presence. During their mission, they crossed paths with Matthias Lehner, who offered them a chilling vision of the Lich King resurrecting Sindragosa in exchange for whelp bone dust. We continue on north to the Argent tournament grounds. In the battle against the Lich King, the Argent Crusade declared the commencement of the Argent tournament. This event aimed not only to instill a sense of unity among the constantly divided Horde and Alliance, but also to prepare a vast army for a strike on the Lich King's stronghold. More crucially, it was to identify the most skilled warriors who would then form a compact strike team to spearhead the invasion into Icecrown Citadel. The strategy of deploying a small team for the initial attack was based on the understanding that any significant loss of life would only strengthen the Scourge, potentially leaving the rest of the world vulnerable to assault. The tournament also served as an opportunity to mend scars from the catastrophe at Angrathar the Wrathgate, although it was arguably too early for such healing. Despite facing criticism, both King Varian Wrynn and War Chief Thrall, each accompanied by Jaina Proudmoore and Garrosh Hellscream respectively, made their presence known at these events, and agreed to witness some of the tournament's challenges in the Crusaders' Colosseum. The Silver Covenant in the Silver Covenant Pavilion, and the Sunreavers in the Sunreaver Pavilion, represented both factions during the Argent tournament. Argent peacekeepers kept a watchful eye over the grounds, ensuring no conflict arose between the Horde and Alliance. Nonetheless, the tournament caught the Lich King's attention, who dispatched forces to cause disruptions in various ways, including assaults and abductions by the Cult of the Damned, the Black Knight's infiltration of the tournament, and attacks by Valkyr, partly in an effort to liberate some of their captured comrades, though they failed to cause any permanent harm. Near the end of the trial of the Crusader, the Lich King himself made an appearance in the Colosseum, reminding those present of the vast reach of the Nerubian Empire across and beneath the entire continent, before shattering the tournament grounds floor, plunging the Crusade's champions into a network of underground tunnels to face a resurrected Anu Barak. Despite the surprise attack, Anu Barak was defeated, marking the end of the Argent tournament and the commencement of the assault on Icecrown Citadel. During the events of Shadowlands, amid the Scourge's revival, the tournament grounds were subjected to a focused assault by the Scourge, transforming into the Crusade's primary operational base in the battle against the undead. The onslaught was as abrupt as it was unforeseen, leaving many Valiants injured, while the civilians did their best to defend the area. As a result, Justicar Mariel Trueheart called for reinforcements from the Crusade's forces in the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. With the assistance of adventurers, they succeeded in pushing back the undead and saving numerous wounded lives. Finally, we venture to the west to the Shadow Vault. In the battle against the Lich King, the Shadow Vault was initially under the control of the Scourge. However, adventurers, dispatched by either Thessarian from the Skybreaker or Koltira Deathweaver from the Orgrim's Hammer. Those are the airborne warships patrolling the skies of Icecrown, collaborated with the Knights of the Ebon Blade to seize it as a stronghold. Following the capture of the Shadow Vault, the Scourge persistently launched attacks on it, while the Death Knights utilized it as a command center, given its beneficial strategic location for assaulting the Vrykul of Jotunheim. Once secured, the Shadow Vault was equipped with all the conveniences of an inn, a host, vendors for general merchandise, trade goods, and provisions. It also housed rune forges for Death Knights, a flight route, and the supply officer for the Knights of the Ebon Blade. Sometime after the Lich King's fall, the Orc warrior Kingslayer Orcus brought a frostworm named Kasha to the vault where the Knights of the Ebon Blade nursed her back to health, which she then served as his mount. The Horde do a quest chain with Orcus where you help him throughout Hillsbrad foothills, but at the end of it he ends up dying due to his injuries taken throughout the battle, and you can see him as a ghost riding on top of his trusted steed Kasha, but you can only see him when you are a ghost as well. After Sylvanas broke the Helm of Domination, the Ebon Blade temporarily lost control of their base when the Scourge attacked and caught them by surprise. In the attempt to reclaim their base back, Duke Lengcrawl called upon the champions of the Alliance and the Horde to get the base back under the Ebon Blade's control, and were able to eventually retake it. And that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.